So I hope these are interesting to have me read out, because I feel more to read. Christ, like my beast I just sold. Beautiful. Oh. The orcs became increasingly aggressive under the secret control of Gul'dan and his Shadow Council. They constructed massive arenas where the orcs honed their warrior skills in trials of combat and death. During this period, a few clan leaders spoke out against the growing depravity in their race. One such chieftain, Duertan, of the Frostwolf clan, Thrall's father, warned against the orcs losing themselves to hate and fury. His words fell on deaf ears. However, as stronger chieftains such as Grom Hellscream of the Warchief clan stepped forth to champion the new age of warfare and dominance. Kil'jaeden knew that the Orc clans were almost ready, but he needed to be certain of their ultimate loyalty. In secret, he had the Shadow Council summon Manoroth, the Destroyer, the living vessel of destruction and rage. Gul'dan called the clan chieftains together and convinced them that drinking Manoroth's raging blood would make them utterly invincible. Led by Grom Hellscream, all the clan chieftains except Duertan drank and thereby sealed their fate as slaves to the Burning Legion. Empowered by Manoroth's rage, the chieftains unwittingly extended their subjugation to their unsuspecting brethren. Consumed by the curse of this new bloodlust, the orcs sought to unleash their fury on anyone who stood before them. Sensing that the time has come, Gul'dan united the warring clans into a single unstoppable horde. However, knowing that the various chieftains like Hellscream and Orgrim Doomhammer would vie for overall supremacy, Gul'dan set up a puppet war chief to rule over this new horde. Blackhand, the Destroyer, a particularly depraved and vicious orc warlord, was chosen to be Gul'dan's puppet. Under Blackhand's command, the horde set out to test itself on against the simple Draenei. Over the course of a few months, the horde eradicated nearly every Draenei living on Draenor. Only a scattered handful of survivors managed to evade the orcs' awesome wrath. Awesome can mean a variety of things, like awesome that's totally gnarly, brah. It can also mean the word awe. It means something along the lines of fear. It's not quite fear, but it's along those lines, if you get me. So, awesome rat. They're not saying it's like totally gnarly, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not sure if I'm using gnarly right, and I don't know why I'm using surfer slang, but yeah. You get what you get. Flushed with victory, Gul'dan reveled in the Horde's power and might. Still, he knew that without any enemies to fight, the Horde would consume itself with endless infighting in its unstoppable appetite for glorious slaughter. Can't spell slaughter without laughter. Kil'jaeden knew that the Horde was finally prepared. The orcs had become the Burning Legion's greatest weapon. The cunning demon shared his knowledge with his awaiting master, and Sargeras agreed that the time has come for his people. Agreed that the time of his revenge had finally come. So Sargeras, despite being crushed by a portal, is still somewhat active. Also, there is a pet monkey called Bonkers. Cool. Unaware of Sargeras' mission to undo their countless works, the Titan, this is the old gods and the ordering of Azeroth. Unaware of Sargeras' mission to undo their countless works, the Titans continued to move from world to world, shaping and ordering each planet as they saw fit. Along the journey, they happened upon a small world that its inhabitants would later name Azeroth. This is named weirdly. Sargeras was corrupted later than this. I thought he was, anyway. I'll go with what this says. Apparently, the mouse was so angry at me misremembering, it closed it. There's a glowing sword there. Very curious. As the Titans made their way across the primordial landscape, they encountered a number of hostile elemental beings. These elementals, who worshipped a race of unfathomably evil beings known only as the Old Gods, vowed to drive the Titans back and keep the world inviolate, 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 lactate. I'm going to look up the definition of that because I've never seen that word before. I've read heavily when I was younger. I haven't been reading much recently, but I never saw that word before. Safe or free from injury or violation. Oxford dictionaries. From the invaders' metallic touch. The pantheon, disturbed by the old gods' penant for evil, waged war upon the elementals and the Dark Masters. The old gods' armies were led by the most powerful elemental lieutenants: Ragnaros, the Fire Lord; Terrazane, the Stone Mother; Al Alkir, the Wind Lord; and Neptulon, the Tide Hunter. The chaotic forces raged across the face of the world and clashed with the colossal titans. Though elementals were powerful beyond moral comprehension, their combined forces could not stop the mighty titans. One by one, the elemental lords fell and their forces dispersed. The pantheon shattered the old gods' citadels and chained the five evil gods far beneath the surface of the world. Without the old gods' power to keep the raging spirits bound to the physical plane, the elementals were banished to the abyssal plane. Bound to the physical world, they are banished to the abyssal plane, where they would contend with one another for all eternity. With the elemental's departure, nature calmed and the world settled into a peaceful harmony. The Titans saw that the threat was contained and set to work. Titans empowered, we actually find out later, they couldn't kill the old gods without destroying the world. They're actually a parasite that can't be removed. When I say parasite, maybe it's not the right word, but basically they are a being that's either intrinsic for the life on our world or like life on a planet, or they've just kind of set in such a way it can't be removed. I don't know. I'm not sure if it even explains different. Explains. There is an important distinction. If all gods are required for life on a planet, that's pretty shitty. If they're not and they're just pure Azeroth, then maybe there's safer planets out there. Then look at Draenor. There's no old gods really on there as far as we know, and that place is pretty shit. Anyway, the Titans empowered a number of races to help fashion the world, to help themselves carve out the fathomless caverns beneath the earth. The Titan created the dwarf-like earthen from magical living stone, to help them dredge out the seas and lift the land from the sea floor. The Titans created the immense but gentle sea giants. For many ages, the Titans moved and shaped the earth, until at last there remained one perfect continent. At the continent's center, the Titans created a lake of scintillating energies. The lake, which they named the Well of Eternity, was to be the font of life for the world. Its potent energies would nurture the bones of the world and empower life to take root in the land's rich soil. Over time, plants, trees, monsters, and creatures of every kind began to thrive on the primordial continent. As twilight fell on the final day of their labors, the Titans named the continent Kalimdor, land of eternal starlight. Charge of the Dragonflight. Satisfied that the small world had been ordered and that their work was done, the Titans prepared to leave Azeroth. However, before they departed, they charged the greatest species of the world with the task of watching over Kalimdor, lest any force should threaten its perfect tranquility. In that age, there were many dragonflights, yet there were five flights that held dominion over their brethren. It was these five flights that the Titans chose to shepherd the budding world. The greatest members of the Pantheon imbued a portion of their power upon each of the flight's leaders. These majestic dragons, as listed below, became known as the great aspects, or the dragon aspects. Christ, I wish I got some toast? No, cola, because throat's really sore. I'm reading a ton. Amantul, the High Father of the Pantheon, bestowed a portion of his cosmic power upon the massive bronze dragon Nozdormu. The High Father empowered Nozdormu to guard time itself and police the ever spinning pathways of fate and destiny. The stoic, honorable Nozdormu became known as the Timeless One. He was also informed of his own demise. I don't know the logic behind it, but it's certainly interesting. Like, it's like, look, here's how you're gonna die. You can't change it. Sucks to be you. And you do kill him in the end time heroic. It's also a dungeon, but I pretty much only did it in heroic, so I don't think of it as a dungeon. Ionar, the Titan Pantheon for life, gave a portion of her power to the Red Leviathan Alexstrasza. Ever after, Alexstrasza will be known as the Lifebinder, and she would work to safeguard all living creatures within the world. Due to her supreme wisdom and limitless compassion for all living things, Alexstrasza would be crowned the Dragon Queen and given dominion over her kind. Ionar also blessed Alexstrasza's younger sister, the lit green dragon Ysera, with a portion of nature's influence. Ysera fell into an eternal trance, bound to the waking dream of creation. Known as a dreamer, she would watch over the growing wilds of the world from her verdant realm, the Emerald Dream. Norganon, the Titan Warkeeper, a master magician, granted the blue dragon Malgos a portion of his vast power. From then on, Malgos will be known as the Spellweaver, the guardian of magic and hidden arcanum. Kazgoroth, the Titan shaper and forger of the world, bestowed some of his vast power upon the mighty black worm, Netarian. Yeah. The great-hearted Netarian, known afterwards as the Earth Warder, was given dominion over the earth in the deep places of the world. He embodied the strength of the world and served as Alexstrasza's greatest supporter. Black Worm, Deathwing. Corrupted old gods, you know the gist. Thus empowered, the five aspects were charged with the world's defense in the Titans' absence. With the dragons prepared to safeguard their creation, the Titans left Azeroth behind forever. Unfortunately, it was only a matter of time before Sejarus learned of the newborn world's existence. He must have been corrupted before then. I thought he was corrupted during Azeroth's, during the work there. Apparently not. The battle for Grim Batol. This fits in with the Horde stuff that I read on the previous table. Meanwhile, in the war-torn lands of the south, scattered remnants of the Horde fought for their very survival. Though Gromhellscream and his Warsong clan managed to evade capture, Deadeye and his Bleeding Hollow clan were rounded up and placed in internment camps in Lordaeron. Notwithstanding these costly uprisings, the camp wardens soon re-established control over their brutish charges. However, unknown to the Alliance, large forces of orcs still roamed free in the northern wastes of Khazmodan. The Dragonmaw clan, led by the infamous warlock Necros, was using an ancient artifact known as the Demon Soul to control the Dragon Queen Alexstrasza and her dragonflight. With the Dragon Queen as his hostage, Necros built up a secret army within the abandoned, some say cursed, Wildhammer stronghold of Grim Batol. Planning to unleash his forces and mighty red dragons on the Alliance, Necros hoped to reunite the Horde and continue its conquest of Azeroth. His vision did not come to pass. A small group of resistance fighters, totaling 3 people, actually there was some outside influence by Deathwing. There was none, he wasn't mentioned there. There was, led by the human mage Rohan, but anyway, Ronan, let's go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ronan. He, a high elf hunter that he later marries, so if you want to find out who she is, check Dalran. Ronan's still there, he's actually dead now. Died in the mana bomb of Terramore. He saved Jaina. his wife is in the place is next to him. I don't know her name. I'm actually gonna Google it. She Ronan, his future wife, and a Wildhammer dwarf, Varisa, a sister to um, Sylvanas. Oh, well done to that person who just got the achievement Heirloom Hoarder. Grants. I sound not very enthusiastic. I'm just don't want to take too long with this because just don't want to take too long with it because uh, you know I don't want to take too long searching. It wouldn't be entertaining. It was the dwarf Falstad Dragon Reaver. I thought he had a different name, like Wildhammer, but that's going to WoW Gamepedia. And the dragon, yeah, Falstad Wildhammer. That was his title, Dragon Reaver. Probably gained it afterwards. That's my guess. The Dragon Mage, Kairus, who's the instigator of the mission. Kraus. Sorry, Sus. Is actually the consort, if memory serves, former consort to Alexstrasza. He recently sacrificed himself to save, just because of corruption that was happening to himself and dragon eggs, thanks to the Black Dragon fight. He touched one of the corrupted eggs, and I think he noticed it was spreading to himself. And Deathwing did actually assist Ronan and the resistance fighters. Basically, resistance fighters gives it a weird twist to it. He was sent in on a mission to scout it. Then I scout it or solve it. I can't remember which. But he ended up getting kind of separated from the Varisa and Falstad. He got separated from them too. They were together, so they were fine. But he got separated and brought off on a blimp that was piloted by goblins who ended up trying to kill him stupidly. They had no real motivation to do so, but they weren't portrayed to be most logical. They just kind of did whatever. Deathwing then blew the shit out of their Zeppelin because of it. After Ronan got out. I know Ronan's wrong, but I don't know how to pronounce it, damn it. Rohin? No, that would be wrong. Fuck it. The human mage. Deathwing did assist, but according to the thing here, he only wanted to steal some of Alexstrasza's eggs. I say. Anyway, his vision didn't come to pass. A small group of resistance fighters, led by the human mage Rohan, managed to destroy the demon soul and free the Dragon Queen from Necros' command. In their fury, Alexstrasza's dragons tore Grimbatol apart, incinerated the greater bulk of the Dragonmaw clan. Necros' grand schemes of reunification came crashing down as the Alliance troops rounded up the remaining orcs. Sorry, I thought the West was making noise for not in the video. Rounded up the remaining orcs, survivors, and threw them into the waiting internment camps. Dragonmaw clans signaled the end of the horde and the end of the orcs' furious bloodlust. In fact, they were actually extremely lethargic afterwards. Okay, apparently I already read this, but not to ye.